ETI.
In this week's edition of ETI, we will be talking about the football game's home match against the University of Tennessee Martin, the women's volleyball's first two home matches against Eastern Kentucky University and Morehead State University, and the women's soccer away match against Eastern Illinois and SEMO. We will also be letting you know who the ETI Player of the Week is.
All right, Racer fans, well, let's get ready this weekend. UT Martin comes to the Racers, and it's Matt Griffin's former team. Let's hope that this year turns out a little better than last year, and come out and support your Racers.
Murray State's women's soccer team will be traveling to SEMO in Eastern Illinois this weekend, looking for their first OVC victories.
It's time to go over our weekly college football picks. In UNC, North Carolina takes on Miami. I originally had North Carolina over the Hurricanes until I found out that quarterback TJ Yates will be out for 6 weeks for the Tar Heels, so I'm taking Miami in that one. Tennessee goes to Auburn. I'm taking Auburn in this one. A lot of Volunteer fans not happy with how the Philip Fulmer era is going down in Knoxville. Purdue takes on Notre Dame. I'm taking Purdue. They had that close loss to Oregon, the only blemish they've had on their record so far. Notre Dame just lost to Michigan State. Not buying that. Louisville takes on UConn. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. They had a convincing win against Kansas State. UConn barely beat Temple in overtime earlier in the season, but they had a win against a Virginia team who is not what they used to be. And also, number 24 TCU takes on number 2 Oklahoma. Oklahoma is extremely solid. They have scored at least 52 points in their first 3 games of the season.
All right, Racer fans, well, here's the second half of those college football picks. I've got Minnesota at number 14, Ohio State. Minnesota comes in 4-0. Ohio State comes in struggling. Last week they barely beat Troy 28-10, and they're coming off that thumping against USC. But I've got Ohio State in this one. They roll. Western Kentucky at Kentucky. WKU has already got big losses to Indiana, 31-13, and they've got a thumping at Alabama, 41-7. Now, I've got Kentucky in this one. Although Mike Hartline has not played well, the Wildcats are obviously superior to WKU at this point. The next game is number 8, Alabama, at number 3, Georgia. This is the big game of the weekend. This is Nick Saban in his first big test outside of Clemson against the number 3 and preseason number 1 Georgia Bulldogs. Mark Richt is going to have his team ready to play, but I think Nick Saban is going to come out on top in this one. The Alabama Crimson Tide they've already faced Clemson and dismantled them in the first game of the season, and they looked very good throughout the season. Number 22 at number 12, Penn State. Illinois, coming into this game, they lost to Missouri. It was a big loss, and Penn State has taken care of business. Penn State has not lost. They have not won by less than 40 points all season long. I think that Penn State's offensive juggernaut is going to come out on top, although Juice Williams will play well for Illinois. And the last game is Maryland at number 20, Clemson. Maryland struggled this season. They lost to Middle Tennessee State, but then they came back and they beat Cal in a very convincing manner. Now, Clemson came out very shaky against the aforementioned Alabama, but since they have, for the most part, taken care of business, I've got Clemson in this one, beating that shaky Maryland defense. And that's our picks for this week. Hope you enjoy.
This week's ETI Player of the Week is Nate Williams. He is a football championship series leader with a total tackle of 57. He should bring the hammer down on the competition.
Thank you, boys and girls, for tuning in to ETI this week. Tune in next week where we bring the hammer down once again. And good night, Canada.